What's up, everybody? It's Gibberish here, and today we're going to be talking about the newest Hearthstone expansion today, which is Saviors of Uldum. I think that's how you say it, or maybe it's Uldum. I'm not really sure, but anyway, Saviors of Uldum, we're going to go with that, is the newest Hearthstone expansion. We don't have a release date yet, but we do know it's going to be sometime, I believe, in July. So that's always a plus. So we're going to get it at least within a few months. Hopefully we'll get more cards. We did get a few cards today. If I'm right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8 new cards today. So that'll be awesome to review. And as always, we're going to follow my 5-way reviewing process, which is useless, meh, pretty good, amazing, and phenomenal. Those are the card rating process, and then we're also going to rate each one of these individually by format, so standard, arena, and wild. So we'll give each format its own rating to see how it fits. So with all that, we're just going to get straight into it, starting with Supreme Archaeologist. He is the 1-cost Warlock Legendary, and he is actually really interesting. If we look here, he is a quest, and if you draw 20 cards reward, you get Tomb of Origination, which is draw a card, it costs 0. Now, so far on the entire set that we've seen, this card by far is my favorite. Like, I am legit freaking out here. It looks amazing. I can't wait to see it in play. I think it's going to be a really good card in Standard and in Wild. You know, Wild especially since there's a lot more mechanics in Wild. But I mainly play Standard than any of the other ones. So that's what I'm really going to be looking forward to. That's how Standard is going to be playing. I think in this one, out of the 5 categories that we have, I think this one's going to be amazing. That's what I'm going to rank it as for Standard. And the reason why is plot twist. I think plot twist is just going to be really good with this card. I think because if you have this card and you play plot twist, you can draw like 8 cards with just 2 cards. That way you can get 16 of your quest and not really be, you know, having to like have all your deck gone. Because the problem is if you just draw all this, right, you only have like 5 cards left in your deck. So you want to get this in a way so you can have a lot of cool cards in your deck. And I'm thinking this would be great in Shuffle Lock. And if this is used in Shuffle Lock, it'd be really good because then you can play Rafam, alright, and then you finish it, all cards cost 0. And so you can have just a free thing of legendaries. So you just draw a card, oh, free legendary, play it down. Alright, so I think there are a lot of crazy potentials with this card. So with Standard, I'm going to rank it amazing. You won't really see this probably at all in Arena, so I'm not really going to rank it that way. And then also phenomenal in Wild, just because you have a lot more card combinations in Wild. So, yep. Next is Untapped Potential. It's a 1-cost Druid quest. And it's going to give you Assyrian tier. And this card looks really interesting too. I'm really excited about it. And it says, quests and 4 turns with any unspent mana. Reward, you get Assyrian tier. Which means it's a passive hero power. Your choose 1 cards have both effects combined. So very similar to the 3/5 Druid Legendary and Old Gods. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this works. Now, a lot of people are kind of like, I think are underestimating this card. I think it's actually going to be a lot stronger than people give it credit for. And I say this for Token Druid. I think this is going to be really good in Token Druid because of different types of cards that you can go with it. I mean, if you look, cards like Power of the Wild, I think would be really strong with this. And like, there are a lot of choose 1 cards in it. You know, this card doesn't need to be the focus of the deck, but it can really help. So like with Power of the Wild, you know, this would just, all this would do is you get a 3/2 and buff it 1/1, so you get a 4/3. Like, because you don't really need your hero power in the mid game and Token Druid. So you don't really need an extra 1 attack, 1 armor. It's nice to remove some minions, but you don't need it as much as you would need this, I believe. So when it comes to this, I don't think it's as good as the quest for Warlock, but I do think it's pretty good, and I'm excited to see how it's going to, affect the game. So I'm going to rank this one right here. I'm going to give it, so it's going to be amazing in standard. I'm not going to rank it in arena, and then it's going to be pretty good in wild. I didn't give this phenomenal, because I think it's just, I think that there are a lot of cool choose one cards in wild, but I think it's not going to see much play in that, so I think mainly in standard is where this card's going to shine. Next is Restless Mummy. Restless Mummy is a 4-cost 3/2 common, and it has the new mechanic, Reborn, which means when this minion dies the first time, it comes back to life with 1 health.
Reborn minions return to life the first time they are destroyed, coming back with 1 health. This Restless Mummy also has Rush, meaning it comes back ready to rush right into another minion.
So we've had cards like this before, and so it's always good to have this. I think it's good that we finally got this type of mechanic in. It's basically like a death rattle in a way, and I think this card is really strong. I'm excited to see it. I think it has some play. So I'm going to rank it amazing in standard. I think it's going to be even better, probably maybe in arena. I think this would be a great arena card, just because of the board clear. Because what's so great is that they showed us in the trailer that you play him, you kill him, right, and he comes back and he has rush, so he gets to attack again. So it is better actually than the Warden card. I forget the name, but it's a 3-cost 3/3 common with rush. From the Witchwood extension. And I think this card is actually better than that. For 1 mana, you get to get this twice. It's like almost having Wind Fury. So I think it's really good. Arena, we said amazing. And then for Wild, I think it's gonna not really see much play in Wild, so I'll give it a pretty good in Wild. So moving on to Plague of Death. Alright. Now this one, it looks so sad. Look at this card art. I mean, like, you got a camel dying to the right, an armadillo, a hyena, and another camel. Like, it's a pretty sad card art for Hearthstone. So, in this one, it's a 9-cost pre-spell epic. It's called Plague of Death, and it silences all minions and then destroys them. So, this is a very interesting card. It's very powerful. It's a little expensive, but I think it'll see play. But my problem with this card is that I just feel like it costs too much. Now maybe not. Maybe this is a fair. But for me, it seems like a little much to put into a priest deck. But it certainly has a wonderful ability. Just get silencing it and getting rid of everything. It's like start with a clean slate, But the problem is, like, you play that, and then you don't really have room to do anything else. So you can clear it all. So it's really good for that. But like that basically with your turn. That's my problem with Twisting Nether, right? So, and that's one thing that I want to compare this to is Twisting Nether is an 8-cost spell for Warlock. It just destroy all minions, and this one is a 9-cost which silences them. So in comparison, this is much better. But Twisting Nether was 1 mana less, and it sees some play, but not very much. So maybe the silence is enough to get to see more play. We know that Priest loves to remove stuff more than Warlock does, so we will see. So I'm going to rank this in Standard amazing. I think it's going to see a lot of play in Standard, but I think it's going to see a lot of play in specific decks. Like, it's going to be very specific in the type of decks that it comes, but maybe not. I think it's going to be phenomenal in Arena. I think if you see this card in Arena, you're probably just going to pick it, and then you just want to survive. So if you're about to die, just play this card. So in Arena, I think it's phenomenal. And then I think it's going to be phenomenal in Wild. But I'm going to rank it amazing. Next up is Puzzle Box of Yoggsaron. Oh, the meme card. They always have to put a meme card, don't they? So this card is a 10-cost epic Mage Spell. And this is cast 10 random spells. Targets chosen randomly. So very similar to Yoggsaron, obviously, is what this is going at. But I actually think this could be potentially better than Yoggsaron for you, because what happens is, like, Yoggsaron, you can play him, after casting all these spells, and then, like, you could have a spell that's like destroy, Shadow Word Death, and then it kills your Yoggsaron, and he doesn't get to finish his battle cry. So you would play a 10 cost minion, he would die and only get 2 spells, and they could even be bad for you. This card gets you to 10, plus you don't have to put a bunch of spells in the deck, like a bunch of small spells or something like that. So that is one of the greatest things about this, that this card, that you don't have to cast a bunch of small spells like you did with Yoggsaron. Now with it seeing actual play, I think it's gonna be pretty good. I'm not sure if it's gonna be all over the place, but I think it has some potential. So when it comes to Puzzle Box of Yoggsaron, I'm gonna give it pretty good in standard. I think we'll probably see maybe like one deck, but I don't think it's gonna be all over. So pretty good slash meh. And then we're gonna also see for Arena, I think it's gonna be pretty good in Arena. I'm gonna say amazing though for this one, because you gotta remember that in Arena, playing a card like this could save you the game. It could also lose you the game, but it could save you the game too, and I think this would save you most likely in an Arena. So, and then when it comes to Wild, I think it's phenomenal, because you got all these weird spells you can play, and I think in Wild it's just crazy, so it's gonna be the best meme card ever. So, Puzzle Box of Yoggsaron, those are the reviews. Next, Evil Totem. Now, this card I'm actually really happy with. I think it's really fairly balanced, and actually, we're supposed to get some new lackeys, so this card's going to be really strong with it. But for those of you who don't know the card, it's a 2-cost totem for Shaman, and it says Evil Totem, and at the end of your turn, add a lackey to your hand. So lackeys are battle cry minions that are cost 1 mana, but are usually around 2 mana worth. So you gain out usually like a 1 mana buff out of them. So a 2-cost 0/2 is really crappy stats, and now people are like, holy crap, this card's so good, but the problem with it is that 2 health is not a lot. But you do get the worth out of it because you get to add a lackey. We've seen Cable Rat, which is a 2-cost 1/1 minion, neutral, and it sees a lot of play. Like, I mean a lot of play. So I think this card is going to be really good. I'm expecting to see it in like a Murloc Shaman. I think Murloc Shaman is going to have a lot of Evil Totem in it. And then also maybe the Overdose Shaman might have it too. But I really like it. I think it's a cool card. I love the artwork too. This is my favorite artwork probably of all the cards I've seen so far. And yeah, I think it's great. So for Evil Totem, I'm gonna say it's amazing in standard. It's phenomenal in Arena, because lackeys are so great in Arena, and this can give you multiple lackeys, and if you draw this in your mulligan, you play it on turn 2 and they can't kill it. Let's say you get a taunt on turn 1 and you play this on turn 2, you can just start getting lackeys in your hand, maybe spell generation with that one, and we're gonna get new lackeys, they said, in this expansion. So I think this card is really good. I'm really excited to see where it's gonna go. And in Wild, I think it's gonna be pretty good. I just don't think lackeys have as big of an effect in Wild, but, it's Wild, so. Next is Questing Explorer. Questing Explorer. So this has a battle cry. It's a 2-cost 2/3. If you control a quest, draw a card. Now, I think this is just a good card, right? Like, let me just talk about this card, right? This is like a card I feel like you would see a custom person make. Like, someone just like, it's simple and it does a good job. It has a specific technique. It's well statted. It's well, cost and rarity. Like, this is just a good card. And it's neutral, so you can put it in anything, A 2-cost 2/3 battle cry. If you control a quest, draw a card. Come on, guys. Like, that's pretty good. And like in the Warlock card, the Warlock quest, you want to draw cards. If you get this, that'd be really good. I mean, so I think this card is actually really good for any quest deck. We'll have to see more of the quests as they release more cards, but I think it's really good so far. So I'm gonna give it amazing and standard. And when it comes to arena, I mean, I think it's well statted, so it might see some play, but not really. It is well statted, but so I'll give it a meh instead of useless. And Wild, I think is gonna be pretty good. I didn't give it any higher than amazing for Wild because I was like, quests aren't too popular in Wild right now. So finally, and probably the worst card of all of this, in my opinion, is Jar Dealer. So Jar Dealer is a funny card, right? Let's just be honest, alright? This card's just, I don't want to say pack filler, but it's just one of those cards, alright? So, Jar Dealer is a 1-cost 1/1 neutral minion, common, death rattle, add a random 1-cost minion to your hand. Now, this is good. I mean, it's not bad. And, like, in standard, I think it's going to be okay. It might see some work in some Zulocks, you know, or maybe some Token Druid, or any aggro deck. But the problem with this, and Rigus Kilbin made a good comment on this, is that from now on, you're going to be comparing these cards to cards like Lackeys now. And so we have something like Cable Rat. Like I said, I'm missing that one a lot. 2-cost 1/1, add a Lackey to your hand. Alright. We have other ones like Death Rattles, add Lackeys to your hand. The Priest card, 2-cost 2/2 Death Rattle. And so like those are good cards, alright? And some of those are commons too. Because what's going on is Lackeys are generally worth 2 mana, but you're getting them for 1. That's why they're kind of, Lackeys. But like, so this is like trying to compete with the Lackeys, but a general random 1-cost minion is not as good as a Lackey generally. Now, that's not always true. There are some too. But this one, I don't think this one is. Now, this card I think would be so much better if it said summon a random 1-cost minion when as its death route. Because that way you don't have to put the effort of playing the card. That way it comes on the board. So that way you don't get a crappy like 1-cost 2/3 summon a random 2-cost minion for your opponent card or some crap like that. So I think it was really close to being a decent card. But for this one, I'm going to give it meh in standard, meh in arena. And I think in Wild, this will never see play. So I'm going to give it the first useless in the Saviors of Uldum expansion. So thanks guys for watching. This was the card review #1 for Saviors of Uldum, the next Hearthstone expansion. I will release another video when more cards come out, I promise. I'll re-review these cards to when it gets down closer to the expansion, so we can see have things changed with them, has Supreme Archaeology really changed a lot since with more cards of the expansion revealed. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Come to enslave, but